Winners never back down from a challenge. Champions know it's anytime, any place. But losers, they whine and waffle and take their ball home.
Trump now refusing to debate a second time.
He did terribly in the last debate. He's so easily triggered by Kamala Harris.
Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. If you've got something to say it to my face.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
That's so good. That's actually the ad that Kamala Harris is running during the Alabama football game that she ran that ad. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It is Sunday afternoon, our weekly live stream. Now we're on our new schedule. We have a lot to talk about. It's been a very weird week in the world of the GOP. The Haitian community is fighting back against Donald Trump and JD Vance's lies against, them eating pets, which is the dumbest thing ever. But we've proven on previous shows that Trump supporters will believe pretty much everything. Then we're going to talk about Mark Robinson. He has not had a good week. Some weird stuff has come out. Hearing somebody declare themselves a black Nazi was not on my bingo card. Not something I thought I'd ever hear, except for out of Kanye's mouth, or Adolf Hitler, as I like to call him. And then we have some new clips of Donald Trump visiting a grocery store, and it honestly looks like it's the first time he's ever been in one by the looks of it. And then he gives a speech, and then he breaks the law on camera by giving somebody $100 bill that works there for their vote. Anyway, a lot going on. We also have some new clips of Donald Trump's latest grift, his press conference. Actually, we have so many videos that I don't know why I did so many, but we're going to try and get through them all. We're going to have some fun. So first, let's talk about the Haitian migrant. Actually, you know what? I got to talk about this before we get into the subject matter. Are people really this dumb?
Yes.
To think that hurricanes are being manufactured by the government. I swear to God, go on Twitter right now and you'll find all kinds of posts about, oh, this was the government. Hurricane Helen, or whatever the name of the hurricane is, that was government attacking us. They control.
Oh my God.
We devolved that much as a society that we think chemtrails and controlling hurricanes. Jesus.
There's probably, honestly, there's probably still people that think the moon is made of cheese.
They do. They probably do. They think the earth is flat.
There is no depth of stupidity. Look, the fact is that there are so many different little spheres of stupid that MAGA has managed to bring together. Like the conspiracy community. My tinfoil hat's out of reach, or I'd put it on right now. But the conspiracy community is the perfect breeding ground for everything that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. Exactly. Everything that he puts forth as fact and truth, which is all just racist, bigot lies, because that's all that there is left of these people. The MAGA community, the MAGA cult, is just a conspiracy group of lunatics. They will believe anything. They don't believe we could have gotten to the moon, but they believe we could engineer the weather to target.
God, that's such a good point. They don't think we went to the moon, but they think we can somehow engineer gigantic 100 miles across hurricanes. Okay. Earth 2 is a weird place, bro. Earth 2 is
we're on Earth like 14 now. We've had to abandon several Earths.
I know, right? And I'm starting to think whichever one we are on is a lost cause. I'm telling you, the Mandela effect's real. We've smashed into a stupid universe.
That's true.
Universe full of idiots that support an orange god with the comb over. That's their king.
The creamsicle king.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's get into the topic matter. Okay. So JD Vance and Donald Trump are in some hot water because the Haitian community in Ohio has filed criminal charges, not just civil charges, but criminal charges. So here I have the clip I put together, a little montage, where this all started at the debate. I mean, it started before the debate, but that's when it really kicked off, is when Donald Trump
said
it out loud.
Remember, both Donald Trump before the debate and JD Vance were fully aware that none of this is real.
Right. Anybody with half a brain knows this is stupid. But
well, together they have half a brain. But go ahead.
Right. So anyway, let me play where it started and where we're at today and why the Haitian community is going after them. And I hope they get what they deserve.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, They're eating the dogs, the
dogs.
people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Just listen and watch
of the
Kamala.
people that live there.
I know, right? Her
Over
face
the
is
last
busted.
few years, 20,000 migrants,
this guy.
primarily from Haiti, have been dropped into Springfield, Ohio.
I can say this, we will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela.
Thanks to Kamala Harris's open borders, there are children who aren't getting a good education. Thanks to her open border, there is a rise in HIV cases in Springfield, Ohio.
That's a lie.
Thanks to her open border, murders are up 81% in Springfield, Ohio.
Well, if Kamala Harris waves the wand illegally and says these people are now here legally, I'm still going to call them an illegal alien. An illegal action from Kamala Harris does not make an alien legal.
Let's recap.
That's not how this works.
Right. So let's recap. Since they've started this lie, the Haitian community has suffered tremendously.
There are schools,
bomb threats. Yeah.
Bomb threats. There are businesses that are afraid to open, businesses from Haitian members of the community that have been there for decades.
I know, right?
Okay. And something that really blew my mind, I don't remember who I heard this from, and I wish I did. It's the reason that this criminal charge is coming about is they have a law there that the citizens are allowed to basically petition the government to file criminal charges. And one of the reasons that the criminal charges probably won't stick, but a lawsuit will, is because of the way that the problems they're having in this community are affecting the economy. Think about it. All those bomb threats in those schools, it's not just Haitian kids whose parents have to now take off a day to go deal with their kids not having school to go to because they have to use their time from their job.
Exactly.
All these other businesses and places that are having trouble, people are losing money just trying to go to work and live in a community that they've lived in for years, but because we have a racist scumbag running for president on the Republican side, we have to now live with a community that lives in fear because of racist lies.
And they actually have Nazis marching.
Yeah, actual Nazis.
Actual Nazis. The Blood Tribe, they call themselves. They've been on TV quite a bit. They go state to state looking for stuff like this just to put up their stupid ass flag, their Trump flag, which is the one with the swastika on it. Let's get it clear. That's our flag, or whichever one point. That's our flag.
You can barely see it, but it's there.
Yeah. Okay, that's our flag. There's another couple flags that you can use that are appropriate. One has a swastika on it, and the other one has, the X going across it with the stars on it. Those are available, but you can't have our flag.
Yeah, you can't.
Screw
exactly.
you. That is out.
Well, so let's look at what the charges are,
Yes,
or at least
please.
what the claims are, because they're very well stated. So right here, let's just recap. The Haitian Bridge Alliance is asking the Clark County Municipal Court to issue arrest warrants for the GOP presidential nominee and his running mate. Quote, their persistence and relentlessness, even in the face of the governor and the mayor saying this is false, that shows intent, this person who's their spokeswoman, I should say, I apologize. It's knowing willful flouting of criminal law. Okay? Keep in mind, we're talking about J.D. Vance, who is the senator of the state where he's passing off these laws and terrorizing his own citizens.
His own constituents, man.
Let's get into it. A picture to the right I want you to notice was a day or so, I think it was after the debate when all of these things happened, all the community members started frequenting as many Haitian businesses as they could. And I think that's amazing. It really points out what's going on here.
Right.
So the filing points to statements that Trump and Vance made at campaign rallies and on national television and social media. The affidavit urges the court to find probable cause and issue warrants for their arrest for several offenses, including making false alarms. They're technically calling fire in a crowded theater, aggravated menace, and telecommunications harassment. Okay.
Wow.
And I quote from their spokeswoman, If it were anyone else other than Trump and Vance who had done what they've done, wreak havoc on Springfield, resulting in bomb threats, evacuated and closed government buildings and schools, threats to the mayor and his family, they would have been arrested by now. They are not above the law. But as we know in this country, if you are white and you are rich, you are very likely above the law.
Yeah,
and if your last name is Trump and your first name is Donald, you apparently have absolutely nothing to worry about because you rarely, if ever, face consequences.
Right. And you can
when
apparently,
it comes to something like this, I don't know what we're going to get from it, but I guarantee you they're going to get the crap suit out of them and they'll win.
Oh, yeah. And they'll win because obviously everything's been done online and on camera. And that's the other thing, too. It seems like Donald Trump can just go out and commit crimes on camera. They don't even have to prove it. It's like, here, evidence. And he's still like Diddy. Diddy's in jail pre-trial, you know what I mean? But Donald Trump, who's committed as much of an offense or worse because he stole national secrets and is a definite threat to the entire country, his dumb ass is still walking around free.
I think what Just Saying has said, ironically, I had to do it. They have no idea what citizens are actual Haitian. They'd call me one. And bingo, you hit the nail on the head because this isn't about where you're from. It's about who your skin is.
That's all it is.
The Republican Party led by Donald Trump can get poor white people to believe, because as we all know, if you could get the poorest white person to believe that any black person is somehow a harm to them, they're immediately going to forget who runs the businesses, who controls over the corporations.
Right.
And they're going to start blaming the brown people.
Right,
That's
exactly.
what this is about.
Because they've done it with Mexicans. They've pretty much said everybody that's brown skin is Mexican. You could be from freaking India and they'd call you Mexican. They're so dumb. And then if you're black, you're Haitian. You know what I mean? They're trying to they're trying to dehumanize an entire population, but they're saying it's only the Haitian community, but we all know what they really mean. So yeah, it's out of control and it's pathetic as a country. I can't believe that. I thought we'd be in a better place by now. But Donald Trump has made damn sure that we don't. He wants to drag us back to the 1800s, I think he said at one point. like he always talks about taking us back to the good old days. Like, what fucking good old days, bro? Like, most of us have never seen good old days.
Well, let's just face it. There's very few people in American history who have seen good days unless they are rich, wealthy, white landowners.
Exactly.
USMC Vet 1992 on Instagram right now said one of the first things he said, he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and Trumpies would still vote for him. So this is the next evolution of it because now this is his favorite tool. He's not going to use the gun. He'd probably shoot his own face off because the guy has the weak, limp wrists of a duck. Okay, but he realized a long time ago that stochastic terrorism is the way you get a cult to do your bidding. Exactly. So when Donald Trump and JD Vance go on national television or go to their campaign rallies and say those people that are brown, we'll call them Haitians for sake of argument, they're gonna take your jobs and eat your pets and kill you and right? That's what they get their cult to act. Bomb threats.
And then Donald Trump adds to the stupidity by going around saying 107% of all new jobs created by Joe Biden are going to illegal immigrants. 100 and more than all jobs created.
We went from George Bush using fuzzy math to Donald Trump using math that just doesn't math.
Did you hear? I think I might have the clip. I don't know if I do or not. Well, Donald Trump talks about there's an app that people can use to come across the border. And he's like, nobody even knows what the hell that app is. I'm like, oh shit. Did he really just say? All right, we'll get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right,
there's just so much.
Yeah. All right. So I hope the Haitian community gets what they truly deserve after all of the being terrorized.
Justice.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything. They literally did absolutely nothing. They were just existing. And Donald Trump and JD Vance decided to make targets out of them.
And remember, their senator abandoned them. Threw them under the bus and drove the bus, and then gave his orange idiot God the keys to the bus.
Exactly. So next, we're going to get into Mark Robinson. This dude, oh my God. All right. He's a pastor. who recently, apparently, we found out that he was posting years ago, like 10, 12 years ago, had posted on a porn. I didn't know this was a thing, a porn message board. Like, who goes on message boards to talk about porn?
Yo, that's some
so
scary
weird,
stuff, man.
That is so weird. All right, so
go look at porn, but like, who talks about it afterwards?
Right, I didn't know. Like, who goes on forums and porn sites and it's like, oh,
watch all the porn you want.
This video had a very good quality. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Anyway, this site called Nude Africa, where he claimed that he was a black Nazi. He claimed that Mein Kampf was a good read, and that I think Hitler was a little misunderstood.
Wait, maybe this is true. Maybe
Mark
Robinson is Haitian.
He could be. You never know. Like, we'll do the Trump thing. Let's see his birth certificate.
Hey, we could do it too, but we're not racist assholes.
Right. This guy is horrible. This is a horrible human being.
Mark Robinson is a racist asshole.
And let's not forget that Donald Trump hand-picked this guy. He endorsed this guy. Like Donald Trump would say, full-throated.
I would like to point out that not only did Donald Trump endorse him full throat, which is an image that unfortunately I'm going to repeat over and over. He actually said that he's not just Mark Robinson. Donald Trump said about Mark Robinson, he's not just like Martin Luther King. He's better than Martin Luther King. It's important to note, yes, on steroids, that Mark Robinson despises Martin Luther King.
I think he called him a communist, didn't he?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
So maybe they should have a conversation before they, promote each other.
Yeah, so we can definitely tell you now that the money that Donald Trump spends on his campaign does not go towards vetting people. Well, I think we've seen that.
We know that.
Yeah.
JD Vance's couch secrets came out, so who knows
luckily,
Mark Robinson's secrets now.
Robinson is losing. I do have a Josh Stein anti-Robinson ad that's pretty good. Let me go ahead and play this real quick.
I got them AR-15s in case the government gets too big for its britches. Because I'm going to fill the backside of them britches with lead. Go into battle and take the head of your enemy. Because it's time to go to war, folks. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it. Some folks need killing.
That's crazy.
This is a pastor. Okay, now
thank you, Jesus Christ.
I am not one to, this is not meant with any insult, but I am not one to give a pass or just assume that anyone who's religious is a good person.
No.
But for sake of argument, you like to think that pastors aren't maybe just still full of fire, brimstone, hate. Like, we're talking about someone he's blown the AR-15 bullshit open, right? Everyone likes to say, well, we like to use them to hunt. You're not hunting with an AR-15. No. Shut up. This guy's telling you what he wants to do with an AR-15, which is shoot anyone that doesn't abide by his view of how they live. Okay, right. Let's keep in mind, this is a man, and we're going to show you what he thinks of everyone. Okay, this is a man who has a very narrow view of what it means to be an acceptable patriotic American. Mm-hmm. His view doesn't even align with the party that he belongs to, because he belongs to a demographic that does not fit their ideal form of American, and that's being black. So
I got to admit, it was funny though. It's funny watching the GOP completely abandon him, because half his staff left immediately after the story broke. Donald Trump was in North Carolina giving a rally and did not mention Mark Robinson one time. Didn't bring him on stage. He was apparently not invited. Apparently they've cut him off funding wise. He's not having a good time. He's not, because I mean, when you go around being as transphobic and homophobic as Mark Robinson is, and then they find out that you're into transgender porn, that'll ruin your image a little bit. Especially if that's what you're
watch
preaching.
All the porn you want that's legal and doesn't harm anyone. But when you rail against something and then that's your kink,
I've been finding a lot, man.
It's now, Jeremy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but this reminds me of all the times that Republicans blame the left for being the pedophiles.
Oh, yeah.
But yet it's pretty much 99.99% Republicans and often pastors and other religious leaders
the fuck?
that happen to be the ones that are into the child porn. So maybe you watch out what these people rail against and you listen to what they're really into.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me play this next
Not
video.
equating transgender and child porn. It was just to show their hypocrisy of what they scream about and are often into themselves.
Exactly. Let's not forget that Grindr crashed when the Republican National Convention came to town. Just coincidence, I'm sure. But it did happen.
Yeah, just like none of the service workers got tipped.
Angry, self-hating closet homosexuals. I swear to God.
Well,
anyway,
go through how bad he is, or do you want to show another video?
I'll tell you what. Let me show the abortion one, the abortion ad that has Mark Robinson in it, and his views on abortion.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
What?
Look at this. Look what Addison just said. And if for anyone watching for the first time, Addison is a protected human being under our watch. Okay, she is our junior correspondent, and I hope that pastor trips and hurts his knee, because I'm not going to say what I really think.
I know, right? Yeah, we'll get in trouble. We'll get in trouble. And what are the requirements of being a pastor anyway? Like, we read the Bible a little bit? Like, I don't understand.
Well, I'm sure that. Well, we know they don't.
I don't get it. All right, yeah, we know most people that are in this movement have never read the Bible. They just quote a couple phrases from it. All right, let me do this.
I, an atheist, have read it several times.
Right? Here we go.
Abortion in this country is not about protecting the lives of mothers. It's about killing a child because you weren't responsible enough to keep your skirt down.
I could not have been happier to be pregnant. But during a routine ultrasound, I found out that my baby was not going to make it, and I was at risk. What Mark Robinson said is despicable.
We could pass a bill say you can't have an abortion in North Carolina for any reason.
Mark Robinson's extreme abortion ban will absolutely put women at risk.
And women across the country are dying as a result of these extreme abortion bans.
Yet again, you could see what they want, not just because they tell you, but listen to what his line was. His line was the tired, age-old woman shaming of you should have kept your skirt down or whatever. So when you confront them with the fact that that's just bullshit, shut up, women are allowed to be as sexual as men are. Okay, let's just put that aside. What about all the medical reasons, just like this video showed? They don't care, because they don't actually care about the woman. They do not care about women at all. They don't care about children at all. What they care about is control over breeding. They glorify themselves as livestock farmers. That is what they see women as. That is what they see children as. Because for them, when you have a child, you must immediately begin indoctrinating them and grooming them into the mentality of Christian nationalism. As soon as you let them know that there's a wider world out there that loves them and cares about them, the message of hate and fear doesn't really hold up. So keep in mind, when you're looking at Mark Robinson about the things I'm about to show you, he's telling you exactly who he is. This guy has no shame. This guy proudly embraces racism, bigotry, hatred, and violence. So let me show you a couple. It's not fun.
These are
first and foremost. In the 1980s, Mark Robinson paid for his girlfriend to have an abortion. And later married his girlfriend. That's weird. I thought they were against abortion. According to CNN, Robinson discussed a celebrity's abortion on an online pornographic forum in 2010, stating, "I don't care. I just want to see the sex." In 2020, Mark Robinson declared, "For me, there is no compromise on abortion. It makes no difference to me why or how that child upended in the womb." That's very good for a predator. In 2021, Robinson said in a church, "I don't care whether you just got pregnant. I don't care if you're 24 hours pregnant. If you kill that youngin', it is murder. You got blood on your hands." Also in 2021, Robinson said regarding women, "Once you make a baby, it's not your body anymore. It's y'all's body. And yes, that includes the daddy."
What? That's insane.
So when you vote for him, you are voting for someone who believes women have no right to their body. I'm not exaggerating.
None.
I just showed you what he said. Let's go on, because it gets worse. Let's see how much he hates women. Robinson in 2016 condemned women who breastfeed in public as shameless attention hogs. Of course, he used the word hog very deliberately. Robinson surmised in 2017, "The only thing worse than a woman who doesn't know her place is a man who doesn't know his," presumably to put women in their place. In 2010, Robinson declared, "I absolutely want to go back to an America where women couldn't vote, because in those days we had people who fought for real social change, and they were called Republicans." That could be a whole episode on itself. We break that down. In 2022, Robinson said that Christians are called to be led by men. When it was time to face down Goliath, God sent David, not Davida. David. Okay.
It gets worse.
There's more. I apologize, people, but we're going through it because you need to know the type of person that Donald Trump thinks is a better man than Martin Luther King Jr.
Exactly.
In March 2023, more of Robinson's past social media statements emerged, including Facebook posts appearing to call the figure of 6 million Jews perishing in the Holocaust into question. For example, Robinson wrote, "This foolishness about Hitler disarming millions of Jews and then marching them off to concentration camps is a bunch of hogwash. And there is a reason the liberal media fills the airwaves with programs about the Nazi and the 6 million Jews they murdered. Both Democrats and Republicans," I can't remember, I think I cut it off that wrong. He claimed that the Marvel movie Black Panther was created by an agnostic Jew and put to film by satanic marketers. That was only created to pull the shekels out of your Schwartz pockets, using a Yiddish slur for black people. Okay, next.
I'm at a
On
loss.
February 3rd, 2024, Robinson said he was in support of arresting transgender persons for using a restroom not identified with their birth sex. And he also said that the transgender people should find a corner outside somewhere if they need to use a public restroom. There's no reason anybody anywhere in America should be telling any child about transgenderism, homosexuality, any of that filth. And yes, I called it filth. And if you don't like that I called it filth, come see me and I'll explain it to you.
I bet he will. I bet he will. Look at my forum.
Here's one explaining his general shittiness. On June 23rd, 2023, Robinson delivered remarks at a conference hosted by our favorite piece of garbage group, Moms for Liberty, in which he encouraged the reading of the writings of several 20th century dictators, stating, hold on a minute. I encourage reading everything. You should definitely read the works of dictators with a critical eye to its context and history.
Right.
That's not what Mark Robinson is saying. Here's the thing, he says. Whether you're talking about Adolf Hitler, whether you're talking about Chairman Mao, whether you're talking about Stalin, whether you're talking about Pol Pot, whether you're talking about Castro in Cuba, or whether you're talking about a dozen other despots all around the globe, it's time for us to get back and start reading some of those quotes. Means it to take inspiration from. Here we go. He also promoted various conspiracy theories, including claims that the sexual assault allegations against Bill Cosby were orchestrated by the Illuminati.
No, of course.
That Barack Obama was a top-ranking demon. Ellen DeGeneres was proudly serving in Satan's army. And that the 2016 Summer Olympics open ceremony featured occult symbols.
Is he
referring to abortion? He also wrote that the African American community murders its children by the millions.
Yeah, is he friends with Roseanne Barr? Because that woman's crazy. I just watched her do an interview with Tucker Carlson where she said that people are drinking blood. We'll talk about it on a shorter episode. But
she said, if I believe, they're not just eating the dogs and cats, but they're eating babies too.
Yeah, they're drinking the blood, and she inadvertently, I don't think she meant to admit this, that she's been in mental institutions. She actually admits it while doing this interview with Tucker Carlson in front of a live audience, no less. Like, how do people pay to go see this shit?
This is a hell of a quote right here. I thought the Holocaust deniers were just dumbasses. I mean, they are. I think now they are just sane-washing Hitler.
Hey, look,
Bingo!
We did a whole episode on how similar Donald Trump's campaign or movement is to the Third Reich and Hitler's movement, including his staff around him. Yeah, so if you guys ever want to see something interesting, go back through our episodes. We tore that one apart, I believe. Okay, so Donald Trump is not saying anything about Mark Robinson. As far as Donald Trump knows, he doesn't know anything about the situation.
I never met the guy.
And it's like the standard Trump MO. I never heard of him. And I like JD Vance's response. They're like, do you believe him? And he's like, well, I don't believe him, but I don't not believe him. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, wait, what he's really saying is he's got many points on both sides. Yeah,
right.
Okay,
Yeah. All right. So here's Robinson saying he's staying in the race, and Trump going, I don't know anything about it.
From President Trump, we've spoken to him, had great conversations with him, but we have chosen to do that, and because we want to make sure that he wins this state.
How do you not? And it's like the biggest scandal in the country right now, and it's your boy, your homie, the guy you picked out personally, and you don't know anything about the situation. I highly doubt that. But Mark Robinson is pissed. He is pissed off
because that gravy train just stopped.
Oh, it's over. It's over. Like I said, his staff is leaving in droves. But here he is saying that he's going to sue CNN for reporting the facts. I don't know how that lawsuit's going to work. And he also claims that he has tons of people interviewing and sending him resumes. I'm sure that
this is funny. As incompetent as Donald Trump is, he might not know the situation. He might not remember who the guy is.
Mark who?
You know, to be fair, he is that messed up in the head. He might actually not remember who Mark Robinson even is.
You mean like his VP pick, JP Mandel? Or Elise Stefanik? Okay, but anyway, let's play Robinson's reaction to CNN's story.
We have full confidence that we can go on. We're getting resumes from all over. We're getting offers from all over. People are jumping in to help us. We've made a ton of friends in this thing since we've been in. A lot of talented people right now are reaching out to us, and we're right in the process right now of forming a team.
Wow, he's really trying to convince you of that, huh?
So we have full confidence in our ability to keep going. We're in talks right now, everything up to legal counsel to take CNN to task for what they have done to us.
I know, right?
We are going after them, okay? We are going to go after them for what they've done. But we have 5 weeks left of this race, folks, and make no mistake about it. We are not going to let CNN throw us off of our mission. Our mission is to win this race. And quite frankly, I am dismayed about the fact, as I said before, think about how many people out there right now, right in the place where we are right now, who are hooked on fentanyl. Hooked on,
the only thing I can think about.
Wait. So that guy just tried to explain to you how they're just getting floods of resumes in. They're in the process of No, you're not, because Donald Trump told his daughter-in-law to cut the faucet, so you're not getting any money. Which, by the way, it's not like any down ballot candidate was getting money anyway. But you're not getting any money, bud.
Load that video. You said the faucet. Oh my God, hold up.
Oh no, do you have the faucet video?
Oh my God, I forgot to load that video.
For those of you that don't know, and I got to tell you, I don't care if I screw up the details because it's Trump. He said something about solving the water crisis by using the big faucet or something like that. And
it's loading right now. I'm gonna. I must have forgot to load it. How could I forget to load this? I can't believe I missed this. This is from a couple weeks ago at his freaking press conference he did at his golf course in California, I think. And hold on, it's almost done. Oh my God, I can't believe I missed.
No, but what Mark Robinson,
a very large faucet. There it is.
He now is just going to flounder because he doesn't have that money coming in. He's got nothing. Right. He's going to, very likely lose his election. I just don't know what the demographics say, what the polling says. But if you vote for him, you know what you're getting for. You're getting a Donald Trump.
Yeah, basically, if not meaner and just more hateful.
You know what? I don't know if Donald Trump has actually said we should kill people, but Mark Robinson did.
Yeah, this guy. But fortunately he's losing, and now that his funds are cut off and everybody's abandoning ship, he doesn't pretty much stand a chance at this point. So he's a horrible person, just typical, on point for the MAGA cult.
Excellent spokesman for MAGA.
They attract literally the worst human beings that humanity has to offer.
Because they are the swamp.
They literally are. Jesus. Okay, so let's get into Donald Trump. So the first half of the show, we wanted to cover Mark Robinson and how shitty of a person is. And the scandal's not going away. If anything, we're only going to find out more details. Which I can't wait to find out. They're going to be interesting.
Forums never forget.
Yeah. So let's talk about Donald Trump. And online is forever. I tell my kids, don't put shit online that you don't want people to find out, because eventually everybody gets found out. 2024 has been the year of people getting exposed. influencers, actors, musicians.
Well, there's been a lot of fucking around, and now there's a lot of finding out.
Yeah, everybody's getting the find out stage right now.
Find out
all right.
era.
So let's play a video of this dipshit talking about how he's going to fix the water problem by turning on a very large faucet in Canada. I think it's located. Yep. Never seen a picture of it, but apparently it exists.
So you have millions of gallons of water pouring down from the north with the snow caps in Canada and all pouring down. And they have essentially a very large faucet. And you turn the faucet, and it takes 1 day to turn it. It's massive. It's as big as the wall of that building right there behind you. And you turn that, and all of that water goes aimlessly into the Pacific. And if they turned it back, all of that water would come right down here and right into Los Angeles. They wouldn't have to have people not use more than 30 gallons and 32 gallons. They want to do that, They're trying to do that.
This is how a child thinks of a solution to such a complex problem. Turning on a faucet or whatever the fuck he's talking about in Canada is... And apparently he thinks water just runs vertically because he probably looks at the map and goes, okay, water must flow that way. It's so stupid. All right. Anyway, back on track. Collect my thoughts. So
wait. Addison did it perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Addison is 10, or she may have turned 11 by now, and she knows this is stupid.
I'm a child and I know this is stupid.
That's so good. Thank you for that comment.
Oh my God.
All right, so Donald Trump tries to act like a human being, and he goes to a grocery store to talk about high prices, I guess, but he ends up just talking about migrants. But he does take a tour. And this whole thing was orchestrated. Don't think that this was just a pop-in.
Highly orchestrated.
And they're just walking around. So here's a video.
Let him in a place that might shit on him.
Right. No, of course not. This is a completely controlled environment. So here's him walking around with, I guess, the guy that owns the place, taking a tour. Just Donald Trump looks like he's never been in a grocery store before. It's so bad.
3 apples. She put them down at the cash register, and she realized she couldn't afford 3, and she brought one back. And that shouldn't be this country. No. She brought one back, and she bought 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, that's called poverty, asshole. It's what happens everywhere.
We had this a couple years ago.
That's trickle down economics.
Right. You know what I mean? Like most of America knows what it's like to have to put food back on the shelf if you can't afford it.
And I'll tell you what.
Oh, this is the best sushi chef in the world working in a podunk grocery store.
You want some? Anybody want anything? You want a little bit? Sushi. He's a good chef. I can see it. Let's walk this.
Oh, you can see it. You can just assess.
He's an expert on chef
skills. That's hard to say.
I've introduced you my nan.
Oh.
Carrie Welsh.
Yeah. You say the nan.
My nan. My grandma. My grandma, yeah.
He doesn't know what a nan is. He couldn't figure that out. He couldn't figure that out.
Watching these people. And the thumbs up. Oh, my God. A stupid ass thumbs up. I hate that.
He's like, this guy's like, I even invited my nan. And he's like, nan. What does nan? Nan? And the guy's like, my grandma. Oh, I had a grandma once.
Like, I love watching JD Vance and Donald Trump. JD Vance actually got kicked out of a restaurant. I think it was today or yesterday. They tried to do a political event, and JD Vance came in. There was a bunch of Trump supporters in the restaurant. The owner was like, get the fuck out of my store. And they all canceled their orders and left and shit. It was great.
We got to play that, not now, but the donut ordering is when we have our anniversary
I know, it's
show.
so uncomfortable, yeah.
By the way, we're working on a 1-year anniversary show. We've actually been doing this for a year, and we're going to be playing a whole bunch of our favorite videos and doing lists and crazy stuff, but we got to put that on there. That's one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life.
How long have you worked here? 2 months? Okay. How about you? Okay. It's so bad. Yeah, while we are on the subject, though, we want to thank everybody that's been with us from the beginning, and those of you that are currently just joining us. Believe it or not, Mike and I have been doing this for a year. We've pushed through. We've had no budget. We've met some amazing people and just had some great conversations along the way. And we've managed to get to almost 2,350 subscribers in that time, which I was hoping for a little bit more, but I'm not upset. Believe me, I'm not upset.
We do want 2,500 by the We would love 2,500 YouTube subscribers by the election.
Yep, by election day. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, please help us out. Get to that 2,500 by the time the election rolls around. I'm saying 10,000 by the end of the year, but that's probably ambitious. All right. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So yeah, that was the tour of Sprinkles. And then Donald Trump rambles about migrants and says the word jail like a million times. At the end, he talks about prices, but literally
keep
the
in
whole
mind,
time, everything's about migrants.
What I love about this, and I'm going to digress for a second, but it is on point in its own way. You look at Donald Trump in a setting of a rally and in a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the grocery store is all set up. Everyone in there is voting for Trump. Fine, whatever. He doesn't change what he says because he has no ability to assess interpersonal reactions. So when he's in a rally, he's just looking around to see if people are nodding their head or cheering. And when he's in the grocery store, he's doing the same thing. You go look at videos of Kamala Harris, Tim Walz in grocery stores, or meeting people in their businesses, or just seeing people on the street. You could see them almost shrug off the national figure thing and talk to people on their level, look at them, know how to interact with them, just body language.
Exactly.
He's incapable of that because he's a cretin that slimed out of the ocean. Just play it.
That we didn't know about. It's called migrant crime. They come from Africa, Asia. They do come, I must say, they're coming from Europe and they're coming from the Middle East. Are many people from jail.
Thank you, Natalie.
They're releasing people out of their jails because they want to get their jail populations down. They're emptying their jails into the United States, and their crime is down 72%. So we don't want that. We have a country that's being destroyed.
He has the best
by
word.
These people, nobody can understand it. What good can come out of what they're doing? They are destroying our country. We're going to win the election. We're going to turn the country around. We're going to get energy prices way down. That's going to bring other prices way down. And we're going to take care of crime. We're going to stop the crime. And we're going to deport the criminals that have been brought into our country.
All right, so
they're going back to the jails from which they came. Thank you
this
very
is
much.
supposed to be about food. he's talking about deporting people, man. I swear every time he talks about deporting migrants, he gets a boner. He gets aroused by it being a hateful piece of shit. So yeah, that was his inspirational speech at the front of Sprinkles. Sorry, I can't stop saying it like that. And then he decides to give a cashier $100 bill for their hard work or for their vote. He says, I guess, I don't know. But apparently that's very illegal. You can't just hand people money and be like, vote for me.
There is no aspect of a candidate handing someone, a prospective voter, money that cannot be construed as trying to buy a vote, because anyone with any functioning neurons would know not to do it just to avoid that appearance. But Donald Trump's like, I got money. Give me some of that campaign money some other idiot donated, and I'll give it to you. Yeah, you vote for me.
That's funny. Yeah. So one of you out there, one of you MAGAs out there that donated $100 to Donald Trump just went to some cashier. And it was a total setup. He knew exactly what he was doing. But anyway, apparently the cashier that he randomly handed $100 to is related to the owner of the store. So let me play that.
Take the rest of it. Here, it's going to go down a little bit.
Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Jenny, tell us a little bit about that. So your cousin owns that store. And the Trump team called up and said, hey, we would like to have a family at the checkout. Is that right?
Yes.
And what else did they tell you?
Not much other than we were hoping to opportunity to meet him. And the fact that he handed us $100 was a complete surprise.
Sure. Maybe the $100 was, but you just got bribed. I don't know if you realize it or not. You just participated in a crime. Congratulations. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, so it's just all right. So that's enough of Sprinkles and his disaster. Everything he does is a disaster. Like, why do people go like Oh, yay. Oh, that's so good. I don't understand why people clap at what he says. None of it makes
Wait a minute.
sense.
How about this? He's a man of the people that understands our plight. So I'm going to take out a crisp $100 bill and just fling it at you.
Exactly.
If you understood our plight, you wouldn't be able to fling that $100 bill like it was burning your hands. God, I hate him.
Sorry. Let me get that up. So Trump, this started at the debate, right? So Trump he's done quite a few events and he's at a press conference. I have a video of that. He did a rally in Wisconsin, but then the one big thing that he said, and I forget what state this was in, it might have been Michigan. He's like, people don't leave my rallies. They're actually leaving. They're going in the back to get a photo op or something. I think that's what he says. So I did a little montage here of when it started at the debate, because since Kamala Harris pointed out that people leave his rallies, he constantly tries to convince himself, I guess. Yeah, this really hurt his ego. So let me play this and we'll talk about it.
Actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. Funny. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
I want to explain something.
Facts.
The people that you see leaving, because nobody ever leaves. You have to get out and vote.
Wait.
You just have to get out. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light.
Look at her.
And when they do, I finish up quick, believe me. But I couldn't take pictures at the beginning. Donnie. What they do is they say, "Oh, please come up now at the end of my speech." I said, "Don't do that."
Covered.
Because it looks like they're leaving, like your husband who owns this place.
$45.
So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies. For 4 incredible years under our...
All right, so this is the rumor that I haven't verified yet. They did interview somebody, and they did actually say this. But we've known for a while that Donald Trump actually puts ads on like Craigslist and shit like that for people to come to his rallies. They pay him money to actually attend the rallies. And the reason why, like, there's a point in the rally that everybody, like not just one or two people, it's like everybody gets up and leaves at the same time.
Yep.
And the rumor is people have to show up. They stay a select amount of time, and then the Venmo payments clear. And then the Venmo payments clear. And once they get their money, they're all like, all right, peace, I'm out of here. Which makes sense, because if you watch his rallies, there's a moment where a lot of people get up and leave at the same time.
It's true. It's completely undeniable. Like, all right, we could pretend that
rumor.
Sure, let's put all that aside for a second. If you actually watch, and Jeremy, you always do a great job, and you did this time showing a bunch of different examples, right? You didn't just show one rally. It happens at every single rally. There is a point at some point, and it is always while he's speaking, that they just get up and leave. Now, I've heard a lot of people way smarter than I am talk about how it's a psychological symptom of how the movement has left him behind. They don't need him anymore. MAGA is more about MAGA than it is about Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's a lot to that. And while we can't prove any rumors, there is something going on that at a certain point, while in the middle of his 2-hour rambling, people just get up and mosey on out.
That makes sense to me, though. The payment clears and they're out. That makes a lot of sense to me. Or it just could be that he rambles for so freaking long and talks about Hannibal Lecter and that wind turbines cause cancer. That could have something to do with it as well. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. That would be embarrassing. I would. I know, right? I would. I know. I would wear a mask. I would have a full-on mask. I would have to go in full disguise, not a Mike Lindell disguise, like a full-on actual disguise. Like I wouldn't just shave my beard off and go. But yeah.
But as much fun as we have, Sheldon is right. He's always actually, to be ironic, 100%, but not really, because I mean it. He's always been one of our voices of reason. Sheldon watches all the time. He said, we need to stop overestimating Drumpf. It's not 2016. It's just as bad as sane washing. He has ruined us. It's true.
We're more concerned about the people behind Trump. Like, Trump's an idiot. His brain is literally being held up by chemicals at this point.
But he knows how to get that horrible message, and he still taps into his innate hate and racism and fear and ignorance. It's just what he is. So he's reverting just to that.
Yeah, my working theory is, and obviously the only way I'd be able to prove this true is if it actually happens, is if Donald Trump gets elected, it would take him 6 months to invoke the 25th Amendment and put J.D. Vance into power. That way, Heritage Foundation, who's been behind this whole movement, can take over the United States. That's my theory, which horrifies me. That's actually what keeps me up at night. So, yeah, there's a lot of... I agree. Don't underestimate Trump, especially the people behind him that are behind the scenes not being obnoxious and loud. Those are the ones you got to worry about. Because I always say that, like, they say some of the most horrible shit out in the open and on camera and on television and online. Just imagine what they say behind closed doors. Just for a second. I guarantee you it's a million times worse than everything we've heard so far.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So, all right, let me go. Oh, you know what? I'm glad you put that up. Somebody messaged me. I put on Threads, I posted that at vote.org. And somebody, I can't remember what state she was in. I want to say Georgia, that she checked and she was no longer registered to vote.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so somebody actually checked and their name was removed and she has no idea why.
Reach out to her and let's get her on here. I'd love to hear that.
I got to find it now. That's crazy, right? Because I've checked 3 times in the last couple of months, man.
Yeah, I check like once a week and I am in no way making that up. I check all the time because I don't trust anything anymore. And
now you can still do a provisional ballot if you're not registered.
500,000 voters in like Texas or something. Like, come on.
Yeah, and make sure if you're not registered, because some polling places didn't. The polling place I went to the last time didn't even tell me, and for some reason I wasn't registered to vote, even though I had voted in the prior presidential election. You can still do a provisional ballot, so you can still get your vote in.
Make sure you say that. If they don't say, if they say you are not
ask
registered,
for a provisional ballot, and you're not leaving until you get it. You have a right to vote regardless. Okay, so let's go to Donald Trump in Wisconsin. This was a really, really strange one, and then we'll talk about it.
Been saying this for a while.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. So, all right, here's Trump rambling in Wisconsin. I mashed a bunch of stuff together, so I can't remember all the things he said. It's hard to keep track.
Wausau, Wisconsin. How do you like that? Wausau. Is that right? Wausau. I will liberate Wisconsin from this mass migrant invasion of murderers, rapists, hoodlums, drug dealers, thugs, and vicious gang members. We are going to liberate our country. Immigrants, they have a phone app so that people can come into our country. These are smart immigrants, I guess, because most people don't have any idea what the hell a phone app is. But they do. These are very intelligent immigrants. That was beautiful. I could have been...
Did he say no one knows what a fucking app is?
You have never seen a body so beautiful. Much better than Sleepy Joe. Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. She was born
that way. This is what he's going. Presidential candidate. Yeah, but apparently nobody knows what the hell a phone app is.
Wait a minute. The guy that lives on Twitter and shit social.
I know. The guy's constantly on True Social. Nobody knows what a phone app is. And no, there's not migrants using an app because they're smart migrants, like Donald Trump says. They're not using an app to come across the border. And I think one of those previous comments hit the nail on the head. Their conspiracy they're spreading around, and a lot of people are going to believe it because Donald Trump supporters are stupid, gullible. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. They're going to believe that illegals are coming here to register to vote, and that's how the Democrats are going to win. It's stupid.
And like, we could laugh, but there are millions of people in this country stupid enough to believe it, believe it, and think it's happening. There are people in this country that think immigrants are just spookying themselves across the border to eat your pets, and then they're going to vote.
I know. And then they're going to vote.
Like, are they going to walk in and be like, "That's a nice cat you got there. I'm here to vote."
Give me that. Is that a puppy? Puppies taste the best. All right. Anyway,
well, they probably do.
I don't know.
Hey, anyone who loves dogs or cats or
RFK
animals
Jr.
knows what cute aggression is, and every time
Yeah.
you look at your pet, you're just like, I just want to eat you. So hey, maybe there's truth to it.
Yeah, ask RFK Jr. though. He actually does know what a dog tastes like.
Oh,
again, that's where the brainworm came from. I think eating.
Is he still under investigation for hacking off a whale head and transporting it?
I don't. It's so hard to keep track of everything. Like every week, it's like I wish we had a slow week, and then this week we got Mark Robinson, boom, black Nazi, transgender porn, Donald Trump running all over the country, whining that his rallies he's going to take pictures of people in the back and shit. Like this is absolutely insane. And we didn't even get to the Donald Trump's newest grift yet. Jesus Christ. And we're almost out of time. So let me go into
grift continues.
The last two videos we have. One was the press conference that Donald Trump did at Trump Tower, which was an unmitigated disaster. I mean, every single one of these are. And yeah, whoever, I forget who commented before, but the media sane washing of this is unbelievable because he is an absolute madman. And they're trying to make him look normal while downplaying Kamala Harris's actual qualifications to be president. She's probably the most qualified person to be president of the United States. Donald Trump is the least qualified person, even though he's been president before.
Wait,
he's still the least qualified.
JD Vance is the least qualified person.
Yeah, like a year and a half in the Senate. Yeah, you're not. No kidding. All right, this is his. This is from his press conference, and then we'll see his new watch that he has out for $100,000.
For nearly 4 years, we have been living through the worst border crisis in the history of the world. There's never been anything like
trying
it.
to read.
Without borders and without fair elections, we have no country. And despite all of this, Kamala Harris intends to stand before the American people tomorrow and lie. She's going to lie just like she did about her job at McDonald's.
Really shitty bullshit
That's
news.
another one. October 7th would have never happened. Would have never happened. Ukraine and Russia would have never happened. Think of it. Here in New York City, an estimated 75% of arrests in Midtown Manhattan and over 60% of arrests in Queens are now illegal aliens. They've given you the fake stories that the illegals coming into the country are much better than our people. They don't commit crimes. These are some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. And they're emptying out their jails and they're emptying out their mental institutions.
Well, there it is.
He still thinks that people seeking asylum are crazy from insane asylums. That's too funny. The guy's an idiot. You see him trying to read, like he's
trying,
right? Forget the teleprompter. Let's just hand a guy a piece of paper, see how he does. He can't even do that. Yeah, so that's the stuff he's running around saying. It's all about immigration. The economy sucks. Is what
well, but like you said, you've been saying, I swear you've been saying this for the year that we've been doing this. He is trying to get people to think that Democrats are bringing in illegal immigrants and letting them vote. That is the lie. That is this year's big lie. They're already doing it. They're literally telling you that that's what's happening.
They're setting it up.
And it's not.
That's the big lie 2.0. And we also like to point out that Heritage Foundation keeps track of voter fraud, and they have found 1,513 cases since 1982 or 84 total. 1,500 cases of total voter fraud.
Someone knows what we're about to dig into on the watches.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, let's do that first. Because Ben Mycelis was nice enough from the Midas Touch Network to go ahead and post this onto Twitter. So some of the fine print before we actually watch the video, some of the fine print on this $100,000 watch. Okay. You can buy it with Bitcoin. This is a total money laundering scam. Foreigners 100%. And foreign entities can buy, leaders of countries. Photos on sites are not the actual watch, but illustrations of what it might look like. No guarantee when or if the watch will arrive, and Trump is not liable for shipping timing. All right. There's other versions. Apparently, the cheapest version, I think, is a silver one for $500. All right. If you buy, I've never had $100,000, and I damn sure I've never had $100,000 to spend on a fucking watch. But if you do have that kind of money, please let me know in the comments how pissed off you would be if you spent $100,000 and got something that wasn't what you ordered.
See, that's what worries me. Not worries me, but like, you're right. But I don't think this is meant as if someone is just going to be like, yo, I love watches. I'm a watch collector. I work with someone who is an avid watch collector. It is the most boring, stupid hobby I've ever seen in my life. But
See, I
respect
watches.
the passion of it. And the people that are into watches, man, are into freaking watches. So let me tell you, this is a money laundering scheme because collectors of watches are not going to be buying them. And let me show you why. Okay? This is interesting. Trump's $100,000 watches are now speculated to be made in China. This is an interesting little read. Trading cards, mugshots. What else can Trump hawk to save himself from bankruptcy? This time it's watches, which are being sold for a whopping $100K. According to Swiss watchmakers, though, you know, the people that literally make the best watches, these things are hardly worth the cardboard they're mailed in. Oh, buckle up. Here you go. A marketing director of a well-known Swiss brand who asked to remain anonymous agreed. Although the website selling the Trump watches claimed that they are Swiss-made, the Swiss marketing director told Hollywood Reporter that Trump's unfortunate timepieces became the laughingstock of an online group chat of luxury watch aficionados the world over were quick to lampoon the, quote, luxury timepiece, with a blog to watch founder and editor, Ariel Adams, describing the gaudy creations as, quote, cobbled together, patently unoriginal, and vastly overpriced. Adams believes that Trump is working with a white labeler, a company that rebrands and markets existing products and passes them off as the marketer's creations.
Dear God. And we've had now...
Gee, is that like the Temu sneakers?
I know, right? We've had so many grifts. Like I said, the $100 coin, we have the $400 sneakers, the $60 Bible that has founding documents in it, which is blasphemous, and NFTs, 3 rounds of NFTs now for $100 a piece, and a new crypto launch that he just did, which is another money laundering scheme. This is the only reason Donald Trump thinks Bitcoin is a real coin that you can hold, just like he thinks the fucking Iron Dome
bring it,
is an actual dome.
We're gonna mine the Bitcoin. We're gonna make our beautiful Iron Dome out of Bitcoins, so everyone knows how rich we are. It brings so many jobs.
He has said this multiple times that he's gonna just write a little crypto check and pay off our trillions of dollars in debt, bro. Donald Trump does not have a fucking clue what crypto is. All he knows.
I saw a few of those on eBay.
And he can get away with getting massive amounts of money from unspecified locations. That is literally all this is. And it's giving me a headache. But anyway, let's get back to the actual
2.4
karat gold. Well, according to Trump, there's 100 grams or 200 grams of gold. Let's watch the here's the ad that Donald Trump posted that he's so proud of. 2.4 carats. That's funny.
You're gonna love it. My new Trump watches. We're doing quite a number with watches, and the quality to me is very important. The Trump Victory Tourbillon. This isn't just any watch, it's one of the best watches made. It's a tourbillon watch with almost 200 grams of gold and more than 100 real diamonds. That's a lot of diamonds. I love gold, I love diamonds, we all do. Only 147 of these extraordinary watches will ever exist in the world, and owning one puts you in a very exclusive club. I have watch number 1, and I'm going to keep it. It's mine, and that's the way I want to have it. Each watch is numbered and extremely rare.
That is the only one that will ever exist.
It includes a personal letter signed by me. Get your Trump watch right now. Go to gettrumpwatches.com. It's Trump time.
It's Trump time. It's so stupid, man. This is a presidential candidate, for fuck's sake, man. I'm sorry about my language, but oh my God, just hawking cheap jewelry. Unbelievable. Melania's got a book out.
But like, look, just look at the guy's history. He has never had a successful business because he's not in the business of doing business. He's a grifter. He sells you the cheapest crap he can get, slaps his ugly face or his god-awful name on it, sells it to a bunch of rubes, then moves on to the next one when he gets sued. And then since he can outpace people on the lawsuit, he eventually it goes away. Right. And it's just on to the next grift, on to the next grift. He had steaks, they sucked. He had a university, it defrauded. He had charities, they defrauded. He had wine, no one drank it. Like,
he had a bike race. He had a bike race called the Tour de Trump.
Wait.
Donald Trump bankrupted a casino.
He's saying there's 7 ounces of gold in that watch.
That 200 grand. This is so stupid. But yeah, somebody's going to buy it. Somebody's going to order it. But even then, even because they're not going to read the fine print, because it literally says, if we make this watch. So the one Donald Trump is holding may be the only one that actually exists. And keep in mind, if he loses the election, nobody's going to give a shit about him anymore. Nobody's going to buy his trinket. So he's got to do everything he can not to line his pockets.
What he doesn't understand, because he's not someone who thinks one step ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Once he's done politically after this election, and whether or not Vance becomes the new vanguard of MAGA and Project 2025 or whoever it is, they're just going to martyr Trump. They'll bury him. They're not going to like take him out or anything. He's going to go to jail, whatever, but they won't let him show up and talk to anyone. And what they'll do is they'll start crafting a narrative of our great loss of Donald. And then they'll still use his name and the movement to continue their agenda. That's all Donald Trump ever was. He was a Russian stooge, and now he's a Christian nationalist stooge. He's just a stooge who was willing to put his name on anything to make a buck. And that's it. That's Donald Trump.
That's right. He's a brand. That's all he is. He's not a leader, man. The guy's just a con. He's a snake oil salesman. And as per an ex-KGB agent, who, of course, wished to remain anonymous, claimed that Donald Trump is literally the perfect Russian bot. I don't know if you want to call him agent, asset. That's the word I'm looking for. Stooge.
He's an asset.
But they've, and Donald Trump's, he had a meeting with Zelensky. I think we're going to do an episode on that when we do our recording session on Tuesday, where he would not denounce Putin while standing next to Zelensky from Ukraine, man. I'm like, this is messed up.
Like, if that's the moment to have some cognitive ability just to lie and pretend, just to get Zelensky on your side, which, by the way, Zelensky's not an idiot. No. Like, he couldn't even just say it there because he knows if he says it, that P-tape is coming out.
Yeah, exactly. He can't. He will not. Go back and look at every one of his videos. Anytime they talk about Russia, he will not denounce Russia. He will not say bad words about Putin. Ever. I don't think I've ever seen it where he
won't do it.
If anything, he'll take Putin's side over his own country. It's embarrassing.
Yep, every time.
That this is what we've come to. But man, we managed to get through all the material for today. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We try to jam as much information as we can in there. Thank you so much for your support, your donations. Apparently, we are now monetized as well. So if you want to help support us, you can join the channel for a few bucks a month to help us support our work. And we got some more short form content coming out. So our new schedule is we're just going to live stream once a week on Sundays as opposed to 2. And then we're spending Tuesdays recording, trying to put more content out for you guys. Also, thanks to your support, I was able to get a legit computer to actually run this podcast instead of my tiny little laptop that's been put through its paces for the last year.
Sometimes steam would come out of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
It would cough.
Like, help me, please kill me. Other than that, everybody, we hope you had a great time. We love you all. Thank you for your support. And we'll see you next week. And like always, we'll talk to you soon.
First day of school. The first broken heart, the first true love. Every parent watches their kids grow up, tries to protect them, teach them, give them a start in life. When they're young, you know they think you're invincible, that you always know what's best, and whether or not they understand it, you want them to see you as someone they can count on to always do what's right. Even when it hurts, even when it isn't what you thought you wanted. No matter what, you want your kids to know you'll do the right thing. It's It's why so many Republicans are joining Democrats and independents to support Kamala Harris. Because like you, they know their kids are still watching. And as a parent, you don't just want your kids to see you as always knowing what's right. You want them to see you as their protector. So protect them. Stop the bad guys, like you always promised you would. They'll figure out one day that you aren't always right. But that day doesn't have to be on November 5th.